Worcestershire's Tom Fell struck the highest score of his career of 143, and that is just about given his side the edge going into the last day of their LV County Championship match with Middlesex in Uxbridge. Fell was on 75 as the third morning began, with Alex Gidman being bowled by Tim Murtagh shouldering arms in the second over without adding to his overnight score of 30. That left Worcestershire on 195 for 4, 114 runs behind their hosts, and still with work to do to move ahead in this game. Fell began the day with his eyes on a fourth first-class 100 in his 50th innings and was now joined by Joe Clark, these two adding 32 more runs for the fifth wicket. Middlesex now had the second new ball, and Murtagh struck with it straight away, winning an LBW to remove Clark for 17 at 227 for 5. Fell was on 88 at the fall of that wicket, and this boundary now took him into the 90s. And another 4. His 16th had him at his 100 off 174 deliveries. It was a masterful innings from the 21-year-old, who began this summer with a ton against the champions Yorkshire and has been in decent nick ever since. This was keeping his side in a good position here after some recent batting difficulties. His innings took on yet more meaning when Ben Cox edged James Harris to Ollie Rayner after making 6, his wicket coming with his side on 258 for 6, 51 runs behind. If Worcestershire were going to earn a meaningful advantage, then they needed Fell to keep going. He brought out the hook shot either side of the lunch break as he and Joe Leach added another 50-run partnership for the 7th wicket. So the deficit was only 1 run when Leach lost 2 of his stumps to Harris after making 19. Fell's previous best score was the 133 he made against Glamorgan last summer, and he'd bettered that here by the time he pulled this 6 off Toby Rowland-Jones during an absorbing battle between the two. It was a battle ultimately won by the bowler because 2 balls later Fell tried to repeat the shot, but this time got too much under the ball and gave Sam Robson a catch in the deep. Fell departed with 143 runs to his name. Worcestershire were now after quick runs to try to earn a 4th batting bonus point. Jack Chantry, without too much finesse it must be said, sent 2 successive deliveries from Rowland-Jones over the rope to make sure that his side got to a score of 352 for 8 after 110 overs, another part of their job completed for them. Syed Ajmal also went for his shots as 53 runs were added in 10 overs by this pair, the lead for their team up to a handy 76. Thankfully, as far as Middlesex were concerned, no more were added to that. Ajmal was left with only 1 stump standing after being castled by Murtagh, who in the same over did exactly the same to Charlie Morris. With Chantry left on 41, Worcestershire were all out for 385. A 76-run lead gave the visitors something to play with, and Leach belatedly went up for an appeal for a catch in the slips off the bat of Nick Gubbins in the bowler's first over. He was less convinced than the rest that this wasn't a bump ball. There was no doubt about the edge that had Robson completing a pair, his match with the bat lasting only 3 balls overall from his 2 innings. So it was left to Gubbins and Nick Compton to ensure that there was no more drama in the time that remained before the tea break. Middlesex went to the interval on 52 for 1, now only 24 runs behind, and this game was in the balance once again. But it was Worcestershire with the edge again on the resumption, as Gubbins on 23 finally gave Ajmal a wicket in his 39th over since returning to his county with his remodelled action. It was an absolute peach as well, a perfect off-spinner's delivery. Then 10 runs later, with his side still trailing by 3, Compton edged Chantry to Gidman to go for 47, and Worcestershire were now just where they wanted to be. Everything was set for Ajmal and Moeen Ali to now clean up on a wearing pitch, but Joe Burns tried to make sure that didn't happen with this 6 off the former. Indeed, Ali again didn't bowl much, Daryl Mitchell giving him only 5 overs in 2 spells, while Ajmal had 13. Paul Stirling and Burns had few problems against either the slowies or indeed the quicker men. In the 21.5 overs Worcestershire had before the close after dismissing Compton, they were not able to take another wicket, a crucial 80 minutes going Middlesex's way, which leaves everything to play for going into the final day on Wednesday. Middlesex will resume on 140 for 3 with Stirling on 39 and Burns on 29, and that now has them 64 runs ahead. Early wickets on day 4 and Worcestershire will be favourites, but without them anything is still possible.